Welcome to this video where I will show you the most vibrant places I visited in Hong Kong, from the traditional local market to the exciting cyberpunk streets. I tried to gather some of the unknown places from Hong Kong because there is already tons of video treating about the same places over and over. So I think you might like some of the locations I'm going to show you. Let's start the video. First location, Mirador Mansion. This is a quite famous place, specifically because it's situated in a very touristic area, but this is one of the places you should come visit, at least to get this kind of suffocating atmosphere. You will see once you are inside, you will be able to get some nice live pictures with people and tourists living in this building. But if I can recommend you something, is to not take any Airbnb in this place. I've done it myself, I've been scammed, and I don't recommend you to try. And if you need a little break, I recommend you to try the Pakistanis restaurant with a very friendly owner. This one has been quick. Next one, Reclamation Street, which is the street next to the Temple Street night market that I don't really recommend except if you want to eat something. And it's not even the best place, because even if the street food is kinda interested, I think you will get better food if you stay at the local places. So Reclamation Street is a very nice street with a lot of things to see. You can go all over the street from south to north, but I wanted to talk to you more about the specific market, which is just next to the touristic market. And if you go in the morning, then you will get exactly what you are looking for with this typical Asian lifestyle in market, with obviously the very popular butcher places that sells meat all over the street with beautiful red light that are waiting for you to capture some moment. And in the evening, before the night comes, I really recommend you to go a little bit more to the north, and you will have like a very big street with a lot of signs, a lot of car walker, like garage, etc., and restaurant where you will be able to enjoy the night light to get some nice picture. You will get also some neon on the way, but I will tell you a little bit more about that later in the video. Not that far from this street, you also have the Yao Ma Tei Wholesale fruit market. I had to watch a computer to be sure I pronounce it more or less properly, and consider getting inside this market because there is a lot of good atmosphere. But overall, every time you have a market or every time you have a building that looks interesting, like a warehouse or something like that, just be natural, be respectful, and try to get inside. You will have a tons of very nice lighting, whatever it's artificial light or from the sun, but there is always very nice atmosphere. Hong Kongese people like to keep the way it was a few years ago. It really feels like traveling in the past. Next one of the most famous from my list, I would recommend you to try to go to the goldfish market, and less famous, the bird market, which is very nearby. This animals market, I'm not a big fan of it, just because of the way animals are captive inside this kind of market. But I have to admit there is a lot of good opportunities for good light and people wandering around, especially at the bird market. I would say like the goldfish market is a little bit too hard to get pictures, especially for beginner, because there's a lot of mention that they are not allowing you to take pictures. So you need to be a little bit more respectful and more careful about the place, because they might be annoyed because of all the tourists that are on the next street. And the bird market, that's a very nice one that I almost never seen anyone mention, and it's like a very local place that feels like very authentic, and you will have a lot of cages and birds going around like in a mess kinda, but quite organized in their way. And then you will be able to take some pictures and some portraits with people working there and create some nice composition. So I really recommend you to get there. There's a very nice atmosphere, and just for your eyes, it's worth it. Po On Road Market, kinda. So it's more about the district. So there is the market in this area, and all over this place, the district is fabulous. This is Jonathan Bertin, one of the YouTuber French photographer that recommended me to go there, and that was such a good idea. I already had some restaurant that I wanted to try in the area, so it was definitely a go for me. This is one of the places that where you go there, you really feel like traveling into past. There is only Hong Kongese, no tourist. You will be just by yourself, so just play around, smile to people, ask there some pictures, and play with all the architecture and the neon. And if you are a little bit more curious, sometimes just try to go on top of some of the building, and you might have a surprise if the door is open, with a very nice Hong Kongese urban landscape. Very near to this place, it's more or less the same place, you have the Shin Street kinda. It's like a very narrow street in between buildings, so it's like a very small spot, but it's still very nice. There is some nice light during the night that you can use, like between blue and yellow if you play with the white balance. and also some restaurants that later in the evening will start opening with activities and people eating and living in the street. So there is some place, I know that there was a woman cleaning some stuff, some laundry, and she has like 2 or 3 birds at the window, like some kind of perroquet, we say in French, parrot, yeah, some kind of parrot, and it makes like this kind of very unique atmosphere that you can find only in Hong Kong. Big part now, we are going to talk about the neons in the city. You know, Hong Kong is very famous for this neon and this kind of cyberpunk vibes, and there's some place that I found that some are very popular but not always very easy to find, and some a little bit harder. So I will give you some of the best neon I found with the coordinates, then you can find it very easily. First, you have the 161 Portland Street, which is probably the most famous place. This is one of the biggest places with the most neon you can find, with very nice atmosphere. You need to come a little bit like at different days because of the cars that are parked. It can change totally the mood of the pictures you are looking for. It can be like very modern but also very traditional. Don't forget to play with the taxis that go over the place. That's a very good thing in Hong Kong. There is always taxi everywhere. You can take them in pictures. It looks very local and I love it. So this place, very good, especially if you come after the rain. There will be some nice reflection that everybody is looking for when you take pictures of neon. There is also the very famous Hing Victory Mahjong Gaming, which is like a big center for Mahjong. I've never been inside, but the outside is very incredible. That's close to one of the streets I'm going to give you, but this one is like very unique. So try to go there, play with the people that walk around and with the taxi, and you will be able to get very nice pictures. It's very unique. You have to stop by there. It's very close to some of the places I'm going to give you, so there is no reason for you to not stop there. Very close to it, you will have Pak Hoi Street with like a very nice neon on top of the crossing road, let's say, which is very blue, vibrant. With when I was there was like a lot of nice red flag on top of the street, which gives it even more character. And next to it also you have like a very nice kind of food court where everybody goes eat there. It's like in circles, so it kind of look very unique, and you can get very nice pictures either inside and outside, and it's very easily. Like everybody is very busy eating, talking with people, so you can take your pictures as long as you respect them. So if this neon and with all the taxis that are waiting in the same street, you can get very nice vibrant picture. And one of the most surprising neon I've seen that I didn't find on any website is the Glorious Cuisine. Glorious Cuisine is like a big neon. I think there is like 2 or 3 similar ones that I found, but I will give you this one, so it's your turn to find this neon. If you go to Hong Kong, there is 2-3 different kind of neon with like outside kitchen with people walking outside with the steam, etc. So if it's raining, I think it's even better. But you have a whole street, a whole playground for you with people going around, and I think I'm gonna have to get back with my film camera because I messed up some of my film picture with the Nikon FE2 there. By the way, don't forget to subscribe. I'm probably going to make a video about the Nikon FE2 one day. Another place, very popular. I know I told you I'm going to tell you unknown places, but some of the famous place needs to be a little bit more explained, specifically more about the end of this place. And I want to talk about the Hillside Escalator. It's like a very popular place. I think it's the biggest escalator in the world, which is extremely useful when you are going up to the hill in Hong Kong, I'm not gonna lie, but it's a very good opportunity for you to take some height and take some different angle with your camera, and I really like that. At first I was like, oh, it's going to be a touristic place, like nothing very interesting, etc. But at the end I was surprised, and specifically because at the end, when you finish all the way up to from the escalator, you go straight to the left, go down, you will have some very nice view of the city. And if you keep going and you go down by the bridge where the cars goes by, you will have very nice architecture, like a lot of cars going around with people walking in this bridge with like this kind of big forest into the city under the bridge. It's like it's a very unique atmosphere that you should go. I've been there 2 times, another time to record some video for you because it was definitely worth it, and I got some very nice picture. And also on the way to this place through the escalator, have a stop at the mosque. It's very beautiful, very unique, and it's part of the big multicultural city which is Hong Kong. So stop there and just go inside, talk to people. Everybody is very nice, so I really recommend you to get there. Next one, you might have seen it in the last video, One Day with a Photographer in Hong Kong, which is me. I stopped at Lei Yue Mun, which is some kind of port village with a big area very famous for seafood restaurant. And if you go all over this area until the end, you will reach the point and reach some very more pure kind of nature with some ruins from the past, and also that have a nice view on the city from the seaside. So it's like a very nice contrast to have when you are staying only in the very exciting city. And if you want to take some nature portrait, it's also a good reason to stop. And on your way back, if you wait for the sunset, you might have a chance to get some neon and nightlight where are the restaurant, and I didn't have the chance because of the lack of time. But I think if I'm going back, I will definitely go there by night just to see the port with the nightlight and the inside, especially at this basketball field, which is very, very unique. I wanted to take some pictures, but unfortunately, they were rebuilding it, so there was nobody playing. But next time, if you go after this video, they might have some people playing around. And I think this can make very nice pictures. Some of the places that I like in the big cities is taking some high, going to some platform and just playing with the light going through the buildings and create some nice contrast. This is why I want to show you this place, which is at the Lei Yue Street and Paterson Street. It's like at a crossing. This is like a tram station. There's some road where cars can go, and I've been extremely lucky because most of the time during my trip I've got only clouds. It was very annoying. But this time, just for a few hours, I got some sun and I enjoyed it a lot. Every time there was some sun in Hong Kong, that was crazy good. The pictures were coming like very easily, and this time was part of it. So there's a lot of colors everywhere, a lot of contrast because of the street creating some light going in between the buildings and all these big advertisements. You will have a lot of time playing with your camera there. Very, very cool. A little break, we're gonna talk about some shop that can be useful for you. And I know most photographers kind of like having a break and doing some shopping for some very nice lens or just to refill some film. First, there is the Chinese name. I wouldn't be able to tell you how to pronounce it, but it's a shop, like a big kind of inside shop, like a electronic mall, I would say. And inside you will find a lot of film camera with good lenses, and also very, very trendy in Hong Kong, it's the small, old, compact digital cameras. So there will be a tons of it, very cheap. So if you want to play and have like a very cheap camera to put in your pocket, that's probably the place to go and buy. There was a lot of Hong Kongese. I never seen any foreigner, once again, not very famous. I just found it randomly. So here you go, that's for you. Showa film camera. I know for the European people the name doesn't sound very good, but the shop is worth it. It's a film camera shop. There's a tons of camera and lens that you can try, and specifically a lot of films. So if you are looking for a specific film, you should go there. They will have everything for you. Golden Photo, that's the place that I found that Fish Monkey Co, one of the famous photographers in Hong Kong, is developing her, I don't even know, I think it's her, film photos. And I've been there to develop mine, and I scanned it by myself. I might make a video about my scan self process. You might be interested, but that's the place to go if you want to develop. It's extremely quick. In 2 hours, you will have your negative developed for a very cheap price. So I really recommend you to check it out, and you can have the price normally on Instagram or Google Maps. Another Chinese name, but when I translated it, it was Friend Camera. That's where I found one of the lenses. There is a lot of cameras, a lot of lenses, and a good thing for me is that I discovered that Hong Kong was like very, very, very nice with Nikon camera. There's a tons of Nikon equipment, and that's a pleasure for me with the Nikon FE2 and the Nikon Z6 that I have. So it's a pleasure for me to do some shopping in Hong Kong, but don't worry, you will have also other brands for you. And the last one, Colorlux Express. Once again, it's in the name. Everything will be very quick. People are extremely nice there, like everywhere in Hong Kong, let's be honest. And I got something there, and it was like fair price too. So if you are going nearby, that's a good place to go. One of the places that I fall in love because I felt like traveling into time is Shing Street. It's like a street in a arc, let's say, and it's literally traveling into past. There's a lot of walkers going with the truck, delivery things, like everybody's walking there. There's some restaurant too, but it really feels like everybody is focused on what they are doing. All the men that was walking was shirtless. It's like very unique to take pictures. And also, if you go to some street, like some narrow street, very close to it, you will find some very cool basketball field just in between a lot of crazy buildings, which can be a very unique place for portrait, trust me. And also, if you want to eat, I really recommend you to try the food court, the Hong Kongese food court, which is upstairs in a building, and you will get obviously the best Hong Kongese food with a delicious milk tea. Another market, or let's say a district with a market, Wan Chai Road Street Market. And there is like a building with a market inside, which is all pink with very interesting architecture. And this place was one of my favorite pictures I took with my Nikon FE2, and it looks so unique. You can also get Inside, there is also a food court that I recommend you to try. Don't be scared, just get Google Translate and try to eat something. You just have to be a little bit open-minded sometimes. And use the market and go upstairs by some bridge to get some nice view from the top. You also have some nice road bridge where the cars goes by, and that will create a nice perspective with the people walking down. So that's a nice place. And last one but not least, we will finish with a very relaxing area with a very relaxing view. I want to talk about Sai Wan Swimming Shed. I don't know if I say the name properly, but that's how it's called. So that's basically some kind of bridge, and like a small bridge just for 1-2 person on top of the water with a beautiful landscape, and that's the place to go if you want to capture some nice sunset with some island going around and some boat, and also a lot of Hongkongese taking some selfies. But it's not too crowded, it's very, very nice. I didn't see a lot of foreigners too, maybe not even one, I don't remember, but that's a very, very, very nice place to go by. If you are lucky and you get a nice sunset, the light is fabulous there. You can play with some of the houses that are there, with the rock, with the people playing around. There is some artificial light that makes you able to create some nice like studio kind of light with the sunset. It's very, very beautiful. I think it's the perfect way to end your day with beautiful lights. And here we go. I think it was a little bit longer than I expected, but I hope you like all these places. Don't forget to save all this and write me in the comments if you want to recommend another place or maybe your favorite one from this list. Thank you for watching. I'll see you around. That was Antoine. Ciao.